U-form technology. What is U-form technology? A building technology for the 21st century and beyond. This is a generalized X-ray view of the reinforced concrete structure created within a U-form. Small diameter columns interconnected by a bond beam, which is itself integrated with the floor and roof systems, creating one unified structural whole. The spaces between the concrete structure within the U-forms and the outside veneers are filled with insulation, which is needed to speed the curing action of the concrete. By independent tests, concrete poured into a U-form can gain up to 90% of its design strength within 24 hours. What this means is that concrete can be poured into a U-form on one afternoon and the load can be put on the structure the very next morning. No more waiting for the concrete to cure. It is done quickly and automatically, and after the insulation has done its job and cured the concrete, it is still there in the wall to be used as insulation for the building. R factors of U-form walls average 30 or better. It is a fact that every U-form building built to date is counted among the most energy-efficient buildings in the world. Heating and air conditioning systems can be cut in half, with corresponding reductions in electrical systems, meaning smaller transformers, smaller feeders, smaller switchgear, and lighter distribution systems, all of which add up to overall cost savings of 30% or more on the completed building when both soft and hard costs are considered. What is a U-form? A U-form is a permanent form for building superior reinforced concrete buildings. The forms are erected, reinforcing steel and concrete are introduced within and vibrated within the forms, and they remain in place to become permanent parts of the building. Speed is the name of the U-form game. U-form technology has been designed to compress the period of construction into the shortest possible time. Buildings that usually take 18 months or more to build with standard technologies can now be completed in only 9 or 10 months or less with U-form. The use of U-form in a building program completes at least 7 separate operations simultaneously, including its structure, exterior and interior veneers, window frame installation, insulation, vapor barrier, and even electrical outlets. There are no preconceived ideas about sizes or shapes of U-forms. They are designed to fit the requirements of each individual building. Look at this typical U-form that was used in the Central Towers project. You are looking at the interior surface with the window frame already installed and the drywall already attached. And if you look very closely at the lower left corner, you will see that the electrical receptacle has also already been installed. This is Central Towers Apartments, 2 12-story buildings located in southwest Detroit, Michigan, USA. Each tower contains 116 dwelling units for a total of 232 units, all completed in less than 10 months from groundbreaking to move-in. For Central Towers, the U-forms were delivered to the job site, pre-insulated and pre-veneered inside and out, 6 panels to a bundle. The bundles are lifted, and deposited on the working deck. A panel is selected from the bundle, lifted and brought over to the erection crew, and lowered into place. A perfect fit. The panels are plumbed and braced all around the building's perimeter from the inside. Notice the cleanliness of the working area. There is no mess, no cleanup, nothing to take away. A clean, clear area that allows for the added advantage of being able to place other materials and equipment around the deck that must be used to complete the interior construction. Things like plumbing and electrical fixtures, cabinets, framing materials, and drywall to build the interior partitions that are usually lifted after the building is enclosed by an exterior materials hoist and then distributed by hand throughout the floor area can now be lifted and deposited all by the crane before the next floor system is put in place. This advantage can save 5% or more on all of those unrelated subcontracts. The concrete was delivered and deposited into these elephant trunk buckets. The concrete can also be pumped if desired. A bucket is lifted, raised to where the erection crew is waiting. Note the size of the crew. 4 men, plus the foreman and the crane operator, who are out of the picture, meaning that a 6-man crew was all that was needed to erect all of the U-forms on these two 12-story buildings. The concrete is poured into the U-forms. All along the building perimeter and vibrated to ensure a complete fill. The Central Towers project is 2 identical buildings. When the U-forms are being erected on one building, the floors are being installed on the other, so that every few days the crews switch sides and move to the opposite building. The concrete is leveled off, ready to receive the floor and roof systems. The very next day, pre-stressed precast concrete slabs are delivered to the site. While many types of floor and roof systems can be used with U-form, we want to use something that can be erected as quickly as they are, and these concrete slabs are the best. You put them in place, grout them in, and you are finished. It makes no sense to erect your bearing walls in 2 or 3 days and then have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to put a floor system in. The slabs are lifted and lowered into place. Remember, every component is selected for speed of erection, like this precast concrete stair section. Pick it up, put it in place, grout it in, and you are done. The building grows quickly, all from the inside. Please note that no exterior scaffolding is ever required. None to put up, none to take down, no cleanup, everything neat and clean. Here are some views of the finished building. And here is the completed project. 2 12-story buildings, 232 units, all completed in less than 10 months. This is an 8-story, 154-unit apartment building built in Ypsilanti, Michigan in less than 9 months. The Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, commonly known as HUD, that insured the mortgage on this building, was so impressed with it that they told the developer if he could find another site close to this one and build another building, they would immediately approve it. So he went to Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is close to Ypsilanti, found a site, and built this identical building also in less than 9 months. You could almost say that he got 2 buildings for the price of one. This is Brashear Tower Apartments, a 9-story, 196-unit apartment building built in Livonia, Michigan in 10 months. However, they suffered a transit mix strike during construction when they could not get any concrete, so what you are looking at was actually built in only 7.5 months. This is a 17-story office building proposed for Citibank in Mexico City. 17 floors of offices, above 7 stories of underground parking in a seismic 3 zone. And here is an office building and shopping center proposed for the island of Aruba. A condominium project also proposed for Aruba. A government office project proposed for Curacao. And this is an apartment complex proposed for Indianapolis, Indiana. Can U-form be used to expand existing buildings? Yes. This is a 25-year-old two-story office building in Southfield, Michigan. The task was to add 50% to the existing space, and because it was occupied by an operating insurance company, it all had to be accomplished within 30 days from moving them out to temporary quarters to moving them back in. And here it is from the rear, where the addition is to be added. The rear wall is removed and the roof and floor systems braced. Footings are poured and the U-form panels are lowered into place. While it is preferable to have the concrete floor slab placed before the U-forms are installed, the underground utility work was not yet completed, and because of the tight time frame, it was decided to move along before the floor could be poured. A perfect fit. U-form erection continues at a fast pace. And again, a perfect fit. The panels are braced from the inside, concrete is poured, and the building is completed all within 30 days. Because it was impossible to match the existing 25-year-old brick, it was decided to coat the entire building with a new cementitious coating with black glass banding. If you look closely, you can see the expansion joint between the original building and the new addition. It is also worthy to note that as part of this contract, the existing heating and air conditioning units had to be replaced, and they were replaced with brand new units that had exactly the same capacities as did the original units. In other words, while the building was expanded by 50%, it is still being heated and cooled by no more energy than was consumed by the original building. Speed and energy efficiency, and that is what U-form can do. U-form, a high-speed, cost-effective, super energy efficient building system for the 21st century and beyond.